Gotta slowly move my hand.
Hey, it's at the Monday Movie Club. I have to start talking before she stops talking because otherwise there's that big blank space right at the beginning.
Yeah.
All right. This week, a relatively new movie.
Move me.
Move me.
Annie chose 2017's A Dog Purpose. That was like yesterday, 2017. It's billed as a celebration of the special connection between humans and their dogs. I'm Frank Gaffney. With me, as always, is Joel. Is that Midge?
No, that's Stitch,
Stitch.
and he's
Okay.
no longer with us. That's just a replica. Or I could admit I had him. I went to a taxidermist and
I
had
was gonna,
stuff, but
I was
no.
gonna make that joke, but I chose not to, John.
Well, he looks very real. I did
Yeah.
think it was taxidermy.
He does. It's I got him through. I missed him so much. I had there's a company that makes what they call cuddle clones.
Aw.
Yep.
Cuddle clone.
Yeah, you send them a
And
bunch.
Amy Goldman and her dog Cringer.
And I'm gonna sit like this from now on.
There you go. Annie King back in the vacuum room.
Yeah.
And Mark Wotzisgartner has a picture up. Oh boy, boss dog. Okay. Here's the plot. Josh Gad is the voice of a devoted dog who discovers the meaning of its own existence through the lives of the humans it teaches to laugh and love. I guess they didn't know how to do that before. We see him reincarnated as multiple canines over the course of 5 decades. It's based on a book from 2010 and was directed by Lasse Hallström. How the Mighty Have Fallen. In 1985, he was Oscar nominated as Best Director for My Life as a Dog. I guess he has a theme. He actually started out directing ABBA videos. Then he did some American films, What's Eating Gilbert Grape, Something to Talk About, Cider House Rules, Chocolat. That's a nice run of movies right there. Okay.
Cider House Rules. Wasn't that an Anthony thing for a while?
No, Helmet Rules.
Well, Helmet Rules too, sure.
Okay, so the first dog is Bailey and his human is Ethan. The one line I smiled at. I felt sorry for the cat. He obviously wanted to be a dog.
Yeah.
Obviously. And then we have an MCU connection. He's reading a comic book and he says, "Let him have it, Bucky. Pound some sense into this character." That's exactly what I thought was missing between Bucky and Captain America.
I was waiting for that.
Some good pounding.
The problem is that comic book didn't exist at that time. Captain America had no longer wasn't being published anymore.
Anachronisms from Joel.
Yep.
Dog number 2 is a police dog named Ellie. Do cops really take the dogs home with them?
Yes. Canines? Yes.
Wow. Dog number 3, Tino Missing Roxy. Jeez. He says, one of my best lives, really. Dog number 4, Waffles, abandoned. Good Lord. Then reunited with Ethan and Dennis Quaid, who's behind Mark there. And the last 30 of the minutes of the movie. His name is Buddy now. And of course, the dog goes to find Hannah. Dennis Quaid is a terrible actor. I'm sorry. But it was nice to see Peggy Lipton.
It's her last movie.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh. Interesting one to go out on.
A better one than Welcome to Mooseport.
Yeah. Originally, Bradley Cooper was scheduled to be the voice. There's another MCU connection, but he dropped out, I guess. Was this before or after Guardians of the Galaxy 2017?
After.
Yeah. And then we find out, I'm going to save you the 90 minutes. The dog's purpose is to be here now. There you go.
Hey, Midge just walked in. Hi, Midgie.
Right on cue.
This here now.
For me, it was it just felt like, why wasn't each dog in each section like a different movie. It always seemed the same. Like thematically, it could have been a different thing. Could have, I don't know. Could have been a comedy or something or more
The
serious.
dog was it was his journey. He was trying to find out what his life purpose was, and he didn't know, so he kept being reborn. It was I like that part of it, even though I hated seeing the dogs dying. I understood where they were going with that.
A Dog's Journey is the next movie.
Nah,
Yeah,
This is
sorry.
only a
Yeah,
dog's
I'll talk
purpose.
about that in a second, actually.
You can't go on a journey without a purpose.
I do it every day. Okay, so for me, this is a 2.5 star movie. Manipulative as hell and sweet enough. It just all went along and then it was over. Nothing really special for me. I don't think I'd be watching it again anytime soon. Amy, being a cat person, what did you think of a dog movie?
Well, you have it wrong. I'm a cat person because I don't have a life where I can own a dog. I have an apartment, so that's what kills me. I could get one, but I am a dog person 100%. I love dogs more than anything in the world. So
Wait,
just-
more than cats?
I mean, I love all animals and sweet little.
You can't say that out loud in front of them.
Right, they're sitting right
You
there.
notice he left me, so I'm like, well, fuck you. You're acting like a cat now. I love cats who act like dogs. I love dogs. I attack all the dogs I see in my building on the street. I'm like, oh, come into puppy. They jump on me, and I'm like, hang on, you can't go in the elevator yet. I'm playing with your dog. And the bigger, the better. So the corgi.
So your apartment allows dogs.
Yeah, there's a lot of big dogs in my building. Yeah. So that's what even kills me more. But anyway, so I loved seeing all the dogs. I loved every second of every dog except the corgi. But the corgi had the best story. He was so loved and had such a happy life. But yes, the movie is very, very manipulative. I mean, I agree. I'm going to give you my stars right now. It was 2.5. I didn't hate it at all. I was enjoying it as I watched it. I forced myself not to cry, and I did cry when Bailey died, but I forced myself not with the others because we had Bailey for like an hour of this movie, and like, how are we going to see 4 more dogs? So I mean, I didn't really take any notes. I enjoyed it. It was fine. I'm glad I saw it, and I love doggies so much. But nobody's going to watch this, so nobody knows. I am a cat person. Yes, America, I'm a cat person.
Is there a version of CCL that's a dog? Crazy
I don't
dog?
think so. No.
Dopey dog lady?
Dog lady.
Oh, okay.
So, Mark, why do you have the picture up if you didn't love this movie?
Because it's still about dogs.
Oh, I
And
see.
here's the funny part to what Andy just said. I thought I had seen this movie before, but I didn't. I had seen the sequel, A Dog's. I had no idea that there were 2 of these movies with Josh Gad. I had no. I was watching it and I was like, I don't remember this part. I don't remember this part. And I was like, let me go to IMDb. I was like, holy shit, I had no idea. So
And wait, there really is a sequel, A Dog's Journey?
yes,
And Dennis
with
Quaid is in
Dennis
it?
Quaid and his granddaughter, which is what I remembered, and that's why. And there was a beagle, and he turns into a beagle. I had Strudel, who was a beagle, so I remember that one very well. This one I had never seen, but what else was I going to
But
say?
you also, while you're thinking, I forgot, I did want to say how much I love Josh Gad. I've been a fan of his since Book of Mormon. I love him. He did a great job.
And he is great because he can do. If you've ever seen Love and Other Drugs with Anne Hathaway and what's his name, Jake Gyllenhaal, it's great because they're both naked throughout the whole movie. He plays a raunchy part. He could play raunchy R-rated parts, and then he could do Disney PG stuff. He's fantastic, and I
Yeah.
agree. He was
That's
absolutely
good.
fantastic in this. He was great as LeFou in the live version of Beauty and the Beast. He could do no wrong. But for me, watching this, I've seen besides these 2 now, I've seen A Dog's Way Home. I've seen Power of the Dog, which I hated. The Truth About Cats and Dogs, which I strongly recommend for everyone if you haven't seen that one, and of course, Dog. So now that I think like my dog watching movies are complete at this point. But Bailey running after the chickens reminded me of Luna. That's if we took
Aw.
Luna to a farm and let her loose, she would go hog wild and just run like a maniac, which just made me smile.
Would she try to eat the chickens, or she just likes to play?
I think she liked to play with them, just like she liked to play with the part where, as you just said, Frank, when Bailey's trying to play with the cat and the cat keeps running away, that is exactly what Luna would do. I think Luna would want to play with these animals, but she's in your face, 100%, like at like max volume. And a lot of the cats and chickens would just run because they'd be afraid of her. And she'd be like, "Oh, we're running now. That means we're playing." And she would torture these animals, which is why we don't let her around cats, because she wouldn't hurt a cat, but she'd want to play with them to the point where they would just keep running away from her, and she would just annoy the hell out of them.
She's like,
So it's like Cringer and Ruby.
I was gonna say like Lenny of Mice and Men.
Yeah. Why don't you want to play with me?
Because that Midge is the same way. She actually accidentally killed a bird that way, and I was just like, "Oh my God, what are you doing?"
But why don't you play with me? Yeah, exactly. Midge is Luna. Yeah, exactly. There were for me, way too many people have Ethan's dad's attitude of he's just a dog, and I just hate that. Not to mention the white trash couple at the end of just keeping the dog outside. And unfortunately, Danielle's uncle did that bullshit of just driving a dog into the fucking woods and leaving him there, which makes me hate her family a little bit. So I'm not friends with anyone on Facebook. So
We'll all say that.
yeah, seriously. I loved Bailey running through the field to be with Ethan, and then hated Ethan's response of just leaving him there in the middle of the field, far from his house. Dogs don't necessarily always know how to get back home. Some do,
Yeah.
but some don't. I just hated him being like, "I gotta go. I'm going to college. I'll see
Yeah.
you later."
That was such a not Ethan thing to do as well.
It wasn't. It was very out of character. And then 2 minutes later in the movie, to see Bailey then die was harsh. It did. I did have a few tears. And then I did cry happy tears at the end when Dennis Quaid realized that Buddy was really Bailey, boss dog, all that stuff. It was that was nice, but to me, too many sad parts. But I did enjoy it because I am such a dog fan. So I'm going 3 stars. But it's one of those movies, just like Schindler's List. Not quite. This is not quite Schindler's List, but just it's a sad. I don't need a movie to make me cry. I don't like that stuff. So it is it's something I don't really want to see again. But I'm still giving it 3 stars.
I could see the quote now. It's the Schindler's List of dog movies.
Exactly.
Joel, how do you follow that?
Yeah. I love dogs. I love all animals. I'm allergic to cats, unfortunately, and that's
Don't listen.
Oh yeah. I love you, Cringer, but I can't pet you. Sorry. We tried that once with a relative of yours, and that was not. So anyway, I'm not a fan of animal movies. As much as I love animals, I'm not a fan of the movies that are based on the story of an animal, because they all tend to fall into the same patterns. They're all manipulative. They're all very
Sappy.
Sappy. Yeah, they that's not to say that they can't be a good movie. And for this isn't. It's a good movie. I mean, like you said, Frank, it's not something I'd watch again. Admittedly, I didn't cry during the movie because I've kind of become immune to things like this in movies like this. I know where they're going. I know what they're doing. So I'm not gonna. Natasha wouldn't watch it with me, and I didn't want her watching it with me. She'd just be bawling throughout the entire movie. With the dog dying like 8 times throughout the whole thing. And I will admit, going into this, my grand scheme was, oh, I'll watch that, and then I'll watch the sequel, and I'll go back and watch My Life as a Dog, which doesn't have a lot to do with dogs specifically, but is a great movie. And it is kind of how the mighty have fallen with Lasse Hallström, in that he's made a lot of great movies, and not that this is a terrible movie. It's like for an artist like that to make such a mediocre movie, and I don't necessarily mean mediocre like story-wise. I mean mediocre all around. There's nothing exciting about the way the movie was shot. There's nothing exciting about the editing. There's nothing that you would imprint from a director who has a stronger imprint normally on a movie.
Yeah, I was very surprised that he directed it, because I remember he was very big in the art theater type. Oh my God, he was
you know,
cute for a while.
people have to pay rent. I understand
Yeah.
that.
So
But
he's the Nicolas Cage of Shrek.
I wouldn't go that far, but um,
He hasn't done 70 movies.
it was an enjoyable 90 minutes that I just don't care to see again. If somebody hasn't seen it, I would say, sure, see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it a reluctant 3 stars. I think 2.5 is a little harsh for me, but threes might be a little much, and I don't want to go in the middle. So we're gonna, as I said, a reluctant 3 stars.
And I'm
So-
gonna agree that 2.5 is a little harsh, Frank. You could change mine to 2 3/4. I'll go in the middle.
Joel, what are your views on The Incredible Journey then?
Did you see it?
I saw it like a bazillion years ago. As I said, if I watch one of these movies, other than Cujo, I'm not going to rewatch.
I had to read The Incredible Journey as a book in
Okay.
like high school, and it was fantastic. And I thought the movie was all right too.
I didn't have to read the book. I remember thinking I enjoyed the movie, but again, I saw it like a bazillion years ago, and I don't remember much about it.
I'd rather watch Benji.
Benji, and it falls into the same category. I've seen Benji. Benji, I've probably seen more than once, just because it was popular when I was a little kid, and it was like, oh, let's see Benji, let's see Benji the Hunted, let's see Benji for the Love of Benji. That's the
Yeah,
one.
right.
I think that's the one that I remember the most. I think that's the one with the kidnapped girl.
For
I
the
don't
love of Benji.
For the Love of Benji. For the Love of Benji.
I like
That
the
was good.
Shaggy
That-
dog.
Oh, the Shaggy dog, the Shaggy
But the
Z.
Shaggy Dog is different. That's not an animal movie. It's a comic.
Sure.
So
Benji
anyway,
was like the Spencer Tracy of dog actors.
right. What was that terrible Chevy Chase movie? Oh Heavenly Dog. Benji was in that with him.
Oh my
Was he?
God.
I'm pretty sure he wrote a whole internet blog about how much he hated working with Chevy Chase, like everybody else does.
Well, everyone else does. I'm sure.
And Annie and Frank, you guys remember Happy? He was the spitting image of Benji.
All
Huh?
right.
All I did.
Okay, Annie King, you chose this one.
Yeah, I can't believe none of you saw it before. Yay! I made
Yeah,
you all watch
indeed.
something
Yeah.
You
How fun
didn't
is that?
see, so that was good. I don't love animals. I didn't grow up with pets. I happen to find myself as a rescue mom for some reason. And yeah, so when my brother-in-law was leaving Florida, he had a cat that I saw once or twice when I visited. And his name was Puck, huge thing. And when he was going to leave Florida for San Francisco, he was just going to let the cat go
Ugh.
and fend for himself. And, and I was like, well, you can't do that. He's a house cat, So I wound up taking in Puck, which actually triggered me an asthma because I'm allergic to animals. So then finally, when I got pregnant, I got rid of Puck and sent him back to his owner. And then Pork Chop was a rescue too, right? I got him from a coworker who couldn't keep him. And then Abby is a rescue also. So yeah, no, I don't really do animals because I'm allergic to them. So now I have to get shots and I can't cuddle with them and stuff, but I always wanted to, so the movie I think everyone needs a good crying movie. Sorry if you don't like to cry,
So
but
you watched Schindler's List.
That's right.
Go watch that one. Holy crap.
yes, that one's a long one, but I do love a good cry in a movie. So, and I'll watch this one again. I'll watch it, whenever I see it, actually. I'll stop and watch it. And I love Bailey.
Aww.
Yeah, it's
I
just
may
so
actually
good.
rewatch A Dog's Journey now to see.
Yeah, I might
because I
too.
had no idea that it was a sequel the entire time I was watching it. So
There is there is a third book from what I was reading. I don't remember what it's called, but obviously they haven't made it into a movie yet, or whether they'll make it into a movie, who knows? I don't know how the sequel actually did. So, but there you go.
Yeah, no, I thought it was cool seeing Bailey go through different dogs and stuff. It was cute. I liked it a
Yeah.
lot. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's not a great movie, but I love a good cry every once in a while. So
Well, I love a good dog.
yeah,
Oh my God, that German Shepherd was gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you'll like what Bailey does in the next movie too.
I bet it's not streaming.
It's on the same. I watched it on Amazon with ads with
Ah,
Freevee, so but it wasn't so bad. So I'm going with 3.25 stars.
Okay. All right. Sweet little movie. You got nothing better to do. And there's I can give you 100 other movies you can watch before this one.
Wow.
Just 100.
Yeah, plus,
How
plus,
many
plus.
are on the Franken list? Where does this land on the Franken list?
It's not on it, and there's
Okay.
6,032 movies on it. A Dog's Purpose is on Freevee with commercials if you want to watch it. I don't think commercials would really bother this movie. On Prime, it's $3.99. I borrowed it from the library. Next week, we do a 180 and watch 1998's American History X, which was Mark's selection. It is on Tubi. What the hell is that? What is Tubi?
Or not to be?
That's
Sorry.
my question.
It's in my collection.
It's
One
another
of the apps.
service.
Is it another subscription service?
I don't know if it's subscription or if it's free with
It's
ads.
free.
I feel like it's another
Yeah.
freebie,
Free
all
with
those
ads.
2B,
Yeah,
freebie.
like Pluto TV or something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
It might help American History X to have commercials in it. You could rent it for $3.79 from Prime, or of course, I got it from the library. And that's it for us this week. I'm Frank Gaffney. Go watch a movie.
And also with you.